What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be previewing Round 7, Port Adelaide versus St Kilda in Cairns, Cairns Stadium at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. Saturday night footy. It's going to be a massive game. Our first time ever playing in Cairns for premiership points. It's a massive occasion. We're 1-5, St Kilda 5-1. And it's going to be absolutely crucial for Port to get the job done this week. So let's get straight into this one and preview Round 7. Firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge Saints TV. I had the privilege to be on that channel during the week to preview this week's game. So if you'd love to see the extended chat and our thoughts with Jake all about this week's game, get on to the channel, Saints TV, and check out that preview. A massive, massive preview, that one, and unreal to talk. And make the debut on the channel, so make sure you check that out. And whilst I'm plugging things, Pez on a Pod is my podcast with Jack Hudson with the Inner Sanctum. We've had Tom Logan on this week. We've had some very special guests over the journey for the first 6 rounds of the year. So make sure you go check out all the latest episodes on Pez on a Pod. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on the YouTube channel for the Inner Sanctum as well. So with all the plugging out the way, let's plug into this preview because it's going to be a massive game of footy between two teams that are vying, well, in different slots of the ladder. Port Adelaide 14th, St Kilda sitting in the top 4, 5-1. Very crucial game, this one. They've come off a win against GWS in Canberra, which is a massive cold trip. And from the coldness of Canberra, they're travelling to Cairns, which is going to be hot and humid. Port Adelaide beat the West Coast Eagles by 84 points in what was a training drill, I think, in the end. And West Coast, I think, were the opposition for the perfect opportunity for Port to get the win for the first time this year. St Kilda, on the other hand, have grinded their way to 5-1. I think they've had opportunities and they've taken them, and which is a great thing to see for St Kilda and their fans. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for them. I have a couple of St Kilda fans as friends, so to see them doing well, Paddy Ryder coming back into the side with Rowan Marshall, it's going to be a massive task for Sam Hayes. And let's talk about that for a second, because they've just lost Jack Hayes. Paddy Ryder will come back into the side. A dual ruck between it was what Sam Hayes has to take on. And I'm sure he'll get the help of Marshall and Finlayson throughout the game, but there'll be no let up in that ruck duel throughout the game. Sam Powell-Pepper, I'm sure, will chip in here and there with his big body and try and make sure that he nullifies that contest. But it's a massive game for Sam Hayes. He's had a good run in against Carlton where he found out his fitness and the hard nature that is AFL footy. Round 6 against West Coast, played against Waffle Ruckman in Williams and probably dominated that. But it's good to get your confidence up. Now you come up against two great ruckmen, a tap ruckman in Paddy Ryder, a workhorse in Rowan Marshall who's going to rest forward. And the capabilities, I think, of Sam Hayes are crucial. But he has the capabilities, as I said, to take it to them. And I think it's not about winning the ruck contest for Sammy Hayes. It's about making sure you reduce the impact that these two ruck have and also try and win wherever you can and nullify the impact that they have as well. Because around the ground, it's going to be that ruck battle, and I think the midfield will have to be on from the outset to really make sure that this game doesn't get out of hand quickly at the start if they do get on top of us. But also the midfield battle between Boak, Steele, Crouch, Wines, Drew. Who else runs through there? I think Hill. You're going to have Rosie. It's going to be a different vibe. It's going to be something that I think with these conditions that our midfielders will suit. They love the contested game. We are number 1 in contested possessions, I think, and number 1 for tackles. So we've got to get our hands on the footy, but also at least put that pressure on when the opposition do get it. And we can throw in different likes in there and give a real red-hot go. We're going to have Zach Butters returning to become a midfielder again. I think he was sick last week, so didn't get really much of a chance to go into that midfield. So the midfield battle will take care of itself. It's the matchups around the ground for me that are going to be so potent. It starts with our forward line, Marshall and Finlayson. They have to stand up again, kick some goals. I know the conditions will be a lot different to what they played in last weekend, but they've got to stand up in this game. At least kick 2 goals each or something, and really take it to Dougal Howard and the co back down there, because if we get easily beaten up forward. We're not going to be kicking too many goals and not putting the scoreboard pressure on. And that's what we've got to do against St Kilda, because GWS had plenty of chances last week but didn't put scoreboard pressure on. And in the end, St Kilda ran over the top. And I think the same thing will happen to us if we don't put that scoreboard pressure on early. Robbie Gray should be able to play. Alir's been good, been given the all clear, and he's going to play a crucial part Saturday night. He's not going to play on Max King. Tom Cleary I'm putting on Max King. You're going to have Alir floating around. You're going to have Tom Jonas thereabouts as well. Dan Butler and Jack Higgins are crucial small forwards for St Kilda. I'm putting Darcy Burns-Jones on Jack Higgins one-on-one. He's a leader of the club, Darcy. He's been under the pressure, under the microscope, and not in form to start this year. As a leader, you got to stand up. You take that role and you keep him goalless. You keep him to a goal. Minimise his impact on the floor when the ball comes to ground down in there forward 50. Dan Butler's the same. He's been quiet on the goal front, but he's definitely going to have multiple opportunities on Saturday night. You know, if it's not Burton, it's DBJ. If it's not DBJ, Jonas. You know, they're all going to be playing on these smalls and taking away their impact, and it's going to be crucial, because if we can nullify St Kilda's impact on the scoreboard, we're 6th in the competition for defence, which is pretty good considering last year I think we were 4th, so we haven't lost too much in that defensive area. It's just about whether or not we hold that pressure together and take it to our end and put some scores on, because it's not, if it doesn't come down to Marshall and Finlayson, it's up to Robbie Gray, it's up to Motlop, it's up to Butters and Rosie and whoever else is around at the time. Sam Powell-Pepper's going to play a crucial part in every contest around the forward 50 and in the midfield and wherever he's put. So yeah, it's going to be crucial to nullify those players across the ground. It's going to be interesting in Cairns. I think that's a different dynamic. We played St Kilda in so many places over the years. It is the replacement game for China. Jungwon Stadium. It's going to be similar conditions because Cairns is hot, humid. I think it's raining in the morning, so it's going to be dewy. Pretty slippery. Might see the return of the gloves on the hands for some of the players. And a Saturday night game. I've been to Cairns. It does cool down a little bit, but it's definitely a lot of dew and a lot of humidity, and it's not great and it's not comfortable to be in. So I can't imagine what it's like playing footy in it, but it might suit us a little bit more. If we can get a run on and kick some goals, as if we kick straight and kick true, I think we're right in this. I am wary of St Kilda. I think they're a great side, and I think a lot of people underrate them. And I know a lot of fans are thinking, great, we're going to get pumped by 10 goals against St Kilda in Cairns. I wouldn't be worried. I'd be concerned, a little bit worried actually, but I wouldn't be in that position of thinking far out and there's no way of winning this. Because I think St Kilda, whilst good, have got a great start, 5-1, they're gettable. Every team is gettable. If we start well, and our mindset's right, there is no reason why we can't win this game of footy and get a bit of momentum. We've got that confidence now that we've won a game. It's all about consistency. And if we can tick that box, I know we haven't been great at it. Maybe this is the start. This is the rendition of Port Adelaide where we get that bit of consistency going and just knock off the teams that we're not expected to win, but knock off the teams that, you know, we can cause a few problems for across the board. So, in saying that, I am tipping Port Adelaide to win this game. I'm tipping them by 16 points. And I think you'll see the likes of Travis Boak, Ollie Wines in the midfield just really grind St Kilda's mids down, run them ragged. Boakey's fitness is going to be proved crucial. And I am filming this prior to selection. If I'm making changes, I'm bringing in Bergman. I think his skills down back might be handy in this kind of environment. Jones obviously will come out as the med sub. There could be the opportunity as well. I think Dumont goes out and Motlop, and I think Dersma comes in that run. And I know the small forwards are going to be crucial in this game, and that seems to be the keyword of this preview, is crucial. But I just feel that there is a bit of an attitude issue with Motlop at the moment. I could tell when he finally kicked the goal of last game, it was like, yeah, I finally got a bit of me time. Well, Port fans, that is my preview of round 7. I'm looking forward to this one. Cairns, a bit of a different environment. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm confident we can actually cause a bit of an upset here. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see how we go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way across the rest of the season. You know how it be. My name is Anthony, and as always, go on the pair.